Broadcasting from the heart of the city of Exeter, this is Phonic FM.
Now, I mentioned at the start of the programme that this show is a little bit different because normally we don't have guests on the breakfast show, but I'm going to make a worthy exception this morning because we've been joined in the studio by my good friend, Mr. Tom Wyatt. Welcome back.
Thanks, Dan. Great to be here.
Now, he is here to talk about the Santa Abseil for the Exeter YMCA. Now, you were last on the programme in March talking about the Sleep Easy event, which we'll touch on a little bit. But let's dive straight in. What is the Santa Abseil and what's it all about?
Sure. So the Santa Abseil is our big Christmas fundraiser. It's happening on Saturday, the 7th of December, at the Renslade offices, which is by Exbridges in central Exeter. Basically, the idea is to do something a little bit crazy for a great cause, to dress up as Santa and to abseil 100 foot down the Renslade building. It's an awesome event because Christmas is a time when people are looking to give something back. They're looking to think of those who maybe haven't got so much at Christmas, and they're also looking to do something that's fun, that's enjoyable, it's maybe a bit memorable. And so this is a great event for that, to raise money for a great cause, as well as to take on quite a substantial challenge.
Excellent. And now, like I say, you were last here, I think it was around March, talking about the Sleep Easy, which was people sort of sleeping out in the car parks overnight. How significant is this event in relation to that, both in terms of the public profile that the YMCA gets and in the amount of money you're hoping to raise?
Sure. Well, the Sleep Easy event is by far our biggest event. This year we raised over £30,000.
Fantastic.
Which is really, really good. We were the biggest, because the Sleep Easy event is a national campaign run by YMCAs all across the country. The Exeter YMCA one was the biggest in the country. We had 180 people taking part. So that's by far our biggest event. But Santa Abseil is also one of our major events. We raise about £10,000 each year when we do it. We have about 40 to 50 people taking part. We'd love to expand on that. We'd love even more this year. We'd love to push up to 60, 70 people taking part and raise as much money as possible.
Yeah.
So it is a huge, huge fundraiser for us. Yeah.
You have been gently goading me into doing it. I'm still sort of weighing it up.
I want to see you in the Santa costume.
Okay, so long as you pay me. Sponsor me, we should say, not pay me. So you're going to be abseiling off the Renslade office. Obviously, give us an idea of where that is, but why did you choose that building? Was it just a case of, there's a tallish place, we'll do it there?
So the Renslade offices are by Exbridges. They are on kind of the east side of the river, just at the bottom of 4th Street. The reason we chose them, obviously we need a fairly high building and it ticks that criteria. And it's also quite difficult to find places that are still willing to do it. Obviously, kind of health and safety, a lot of places just aren't even willing to consider. The people at Renslade House are really, really welcoming and supportive, so we really, really appreciate them being willing to offer their building to do it.
So have you done it there in the past as well?
Yep, last year we did it there and it was a really great venue to have it at. Obviously being so high, you get amazing views right down the river, really scenic views when you get up the top, so even though it's nerve-wracking, it's worth getting up there just to see that.
Yes. Now I suppose a lot of people will be wondering about the actual logistics of abseiling, because many of us have been sort of rock climbing or mountain climbing and sort of get used to the idea of going up on a harness.
Sure.
But talk us through the logistics of actually sort of what happens when we turn up on the day. Like, how do we get strapped in and get up there and so forth?
Well, the good thing to know is that it's run by professionals, a professional abseiling company.
So it's not just you with a rope saying, yeah, where you go?
Saying good luck. No, it's a professional company who are really great, really friendly, who will explain everything. So before your abseil, you have half an hour of training, just so that you're really comfortable, you know what's going on, you've been into the harnesses, you know what it's going to be like. And then when you get up there, there'll be obviously the abseiling company up there, as well as somebody from the YMCA, just to kind of encourage you and still any nerves. And then it's fairly straightforward from there, really. You get into your harness and step onto the edge. You're facing backwards, obviously, take the step back and you go from there. It's really simple. Anybody kind of any ability any kind of level of fitness or what have you.
Anyone who can walk backwards can do it.
Anyone who can walk backwards can do it. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
And the Santa uniforms, are they provided by you?
Yeah, we provide those, and you get to keep them after as well. So little bonus there.
And do you get people sort of being competitive, like seeing how quickly they can go down, or is it all very sort of friendly and casual?
Most people, when they come to do it, they want to take their time. Like I say, because the views are amazing, and because it's quite a memorable experience, people like to take their time, really take it in and enjoy it. Yes. People who are a bit more nervous maybe are quicker to get down quickly and touch down onto the ground as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Have you had anyone sort of going down one-handed with an iPhone and the other sort of gently catching?
We haven't yet. I guess people are a bit worried about dropping their iPhone 100 foot. But no, I guess maybe they might this year.
Well, no, that's a challenge for anyone who's considering doing it. Do it one-handed. I'm sure it's perfectly safe. So, coming back to the money side of it, you say you raised about £10,000 this year. Is that your target? Sorry, last year. Is that your target for this year? And just talk about how you go about budgeting for these kind of events.
Sure. I mean, it's always obviously difficult to gauge. So, take for example, Sleep Easy. We didn't anticipate it being such a fantastic event and raising £30,000. So usually. Our expectations are more than matched, and the public are just so generous, and people are so enthusiastic about raising money for the cause. So in that sense, it's difficult. We basically try and just work on what we've had in previous years and what we can reasonably expect in terms of growth and increase. So. Yeah, that's kind of where we get those numbers from. It's always a little bit tricky to work out. Yeah, like I say, people are so generous. They appreciate it's such a great cause that the young homeless people who are in Exeter and Devon are so in need of the support that they want to do everything they can to raise as much money as they can.
And is there a minimum sponsorship threshold that you ask anyone to raise if they enter? Yeah.
So we do ask for a minimum of £100, which most people find very easy. Kind of the average that people raise is well over £200. So £100 is can sound a lot, but when people hear that you want to step off a building and how crazy that thought is, they're usually quite willing to sponsor, and no one seems to struggle to raise that amount. But that £100 just ensures that it's kind of worthwhile you actually taking part
It's the cost of 3 and a bit pints you're giving up, basically, if you want to give someone a tenner, and then it's just
exactly,
of theirs.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what we see, people giving huge amounts, £20, even £50 for this event, because they're so impressed that their friends are willing to do it.
Yeah, they certainly need a beer by the time they get on the ground.
That's it.
Okay, I'm afraid we've got to wrap up, but so just give us the big details again of how people can sign up, when and where it's taking place, any extra information that we need.
Yeah. So the main thing to know is the website is www.santaabseil.org.uk. From that website you can find out more information as well as register at the website. It's happening on Saturday the 7th of December at the Renslade offices in central Exeter, and there's Abseil slots available all day. It takes about an hour of your time, and that can be whenever works best for you. And it's for a great cause. It's to help homeless young people this Christmas find a home, find support, and find a future. So it'd be great if you're interested in getting on board to visit www.santaabseil.org.uk.
Well, I'm convinced, and so we will be we'll be linking to that website on our Facebook page, which is Daniel Mumby on Phonic FM, and via the Twitter feed, which is Mumby at Movies. We'll also be attempting to put a YouTube edited version of this interview up online, hopefully by close of play today, so you can link to it on your site. And thank you very much for coming in, Tom. It's always good to see you.
Really
and I guess we hope to see you sometime in the next 6 months or so, because you'll have another Sleep Easy in a few months' time. So see you very soon, and thank you very much for coming on the programme.
Thanks, Dan.